Alright, so just before we get into the episode, I just want to let everyone know that due to real life, whatever, that I'm going to be releasing an episode every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Episodes may come out on other days besides those, but just expect them to come out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. At pretty much any point in the day, sort of depends when I get done with them, but hopefully I can actually keep that schedule, but we'll see. Hello everyone, welcome back to the review show. Today we have Indirect Kiss. This was an episode I was really looking forward to reviewing because I have a lot to talk about with it, so let's not delay any longer. Let's jump into what I like about Indirect Kiss. Indirect Kiss is a very interesting episode of Steven Universe, and the first thing I like about it is this is the first episode that sets up the idea of Steven trying to live up to the idea of Rose. Obviously not who Rose actually is, spoiler alert, but just the idea of Rose that everyone else tells him about. How she's perfect, and everyone loves her, and she's great. This is the first episode where Steven really starts to, show that he feels he'll never really be able to live up to her expectations, because he's like, what if I don't even get powers? What if I'm just a normal kid? Well, yeah, you're a normal kid, that's who you are, so it's just very interesting that they start with that happens in this episode. I love that they start it this early on in the show, before they even really get into it. And like a lot of the issues brought up in an episode, it seems to solve itself, but it really doesn't. In Tiger Millionaire, oh look, Amethyst doesn't feel bad about herself anymore. Wait a minute, turns out, she still does. It just seems like it solves a problem, and it's great. Because it also kind of plays off the idea of what a kid's show is. How every problem gets solved right away. Not in this show. Most of the times, it never gets solved at all. Or hasn't been yet. So that's the first thing that I really, really liked about Indirect Kiss. And to sort of tie into that idea, I like what Pearl says to Steven at the fountain. She doesn't actually say what Steven says she says, which is you'll never be a crystal gem and get powers. However, he feels like she said it to him, and what we know of Pearl, she probably heavily implied it, because at this point in the show, she can kind of say things without thinking. They all can. And I like that. I definitely, because that'll happen a lot when you're a kid. You'll feel like somebody said something mean to you, but they didn't really, or at least they didn't directly say it, but you'll sort of pretend like they did, because it's the only way for your brain to really understand it. And I definitely like that part of the episode a lot. So I just want to get this out of the way real quick, since I've talked about this almost to death, and that's the idea that the correct gems aren't humans. I've talked about that to death. It's almost not important at this point. But another thing I do like that is important to talk about is Pearl's freak out at the fountain, because it's sort of starting to set up the idea that maybe Rose and Pearl were a thing at one point. And obviously we don't know it yet, but the episode kind of acts like we do, because it tells us without telling us. It almost acts like, yeah, you should know at this point that Pearl and Rose were kind of like a thing for a while, for a couple thousand years, whatever. It's not that long. It was just like a one-night stand in Gem timeline, I guess. But I do like that. It sort of shows the idea that Pearl was in love with Rose, just maybe a little bit. How upset she was that the fountain was getting destroyed, her reaction in the episode in general. It's great. It's definitely, again, something 1A is very, very good at. I also like, and I'm sure everyone has noticed this, but I want to bring it up again, I like the line directionless, pathetic, clinging things. Obviously, it's making fun of the gems for having those exact qualities without Rose. It's nice. It's not in your face about it, but I'm sure a lot of people have noticed it, but if you haven't, they're making fun of the gems in that way. It's sort of also showing that Pearl's a bit of a hypocrite. Not too much, really. Just a little bit. Just a little hypocrite. It's fine. Whatever. Everyone's a little hypocrite. Whatever. Not hypocrite. But yeah. There's not much to this point. I just really enjoy that they put that in there. It's nice. So now we're to the part of the episode that no one likes. I don't even like it. And it's what I dislike. I don't really want to talk about this because it's going to make it seem like I'm saying something I'm not. And my problem with this episode is there's too many cutbacks to Steven and Connie. Like, way too many. There's like 4 in an 11-minute episode. And it's way too many. I think it's 4. I have 4 written down. There may be more, maybe less. I don't know. I had a huge migraine on a plane watching this one, so I could just be wrong. But there were definitely way too many because it kind of got in the way of the actual like episode in the overall structure, and it would interrupt really big parts of the episode to remind us that Steven feels sad about this basically, and to remind us that Connie's there, and it's not really important. Because you really need them to be in the episode 3 times. The beginning, when Steven rides up on Lion. A middle point, where Steven gets the glasses and Connie gets Steven's drink. And the third time, so she can drink it and lose the glasses. Those are the only 3 times you need it. The rest of them can only be there just simply to remind us that Steven's sad about this. We can sort of imply with what's happening around him that he's sad about this. He can't save his friends. He feels useless. We know he's upset. This kid is always upset about stuff like this. It's not like he's a sociopath, or seems to be, and this episode's trying to tell us he's not. So to set up the idea that he's sad isn't really important. That's the only reason I can think of these parts existing. And I get it that they're kind of important with the glasses, but like I said previously, there's a way you could do it without this many cutbacks. So it's not a huge deal. The episode's still fine with them in, but there's just way too many. I'm sorry. There's just way too many. It messes up with the overall flow of the episode. So for the final verdict, surprisingly, even with that criticism of the episode, this is one of my favorites because I just love the overall message of it. It's just great. It's a great episode in general. There's only one part that's not I don't dislike that I'll bring up, but just it's kind of weird. Why does Connie pop the lenses out of her glasses and put them on, and like the wind's blowing in the background? Why is all that supposed to seem like it's cool? Like she didn't do anything. She ate food with Steven, listened to his story, and drank his juice that he gave her. She didn't do anything. Whatever. I like this episode a lot. There's just with all those likes, I love it. I can ignore the few things I dislike because this episode's so great. It's easily in my top 5 in season 1A. I almost thought we were season 2. It's a great episode. I definitely would recommend rewatching it. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Am I wrong? Was there enough cutaways to Steven and Connie? Was that a perfect number, or was I right? Whatever your thought is, just just comment on it and just let me know. And I want to say this right now. Don't attack people for their opinions. Whether you disagree with them, whether I disagree with them, it doesn't matter. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. If they think this episode is perfect and nothing can be fixed, that's fine. If you disagree with me, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if I see people attacking each other, I'm not going to be happy. So just please keep it civil. I know I'll have to make these warnings in the future when we get to even more episodes that I have problems with, but whatever. At the moment, just please try and be respectful. That's all I have for today. I will see you guys next time.